Welcome back, everybody. It is time for the final run of day one of GDQ Hotfix's AAPI Heritage Month celebration speedrunning marathon. We're joined by the one and only Limey, who will be doing a run of Quake. Limey, take it away.
Wow, it's so surreal that you get to say that to me. I like when you get to say that to me because it doesn't happen very often.
Host the Limey run. This is so exciting.
This is like very few people get to do that, but yeah. Hello, I am Limey. I'm running Quake today for the AAPI Heritage Month celebration. I was hosting earlier, but now I'm here in the runner seat, and it's a little bit weird.
Now you're doing more work.
Yeah, I'm doing more work. My bad. I also have Osborne here with me. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Osborne, and Limey has taught me the run of this, and so I'm here to help him with commentary, and I'm very glad to be here and to support a very good friend of mine.
Yeah, before we get started, I was just going
to say, Limey was telling us he's been playing a lot of Minecraft lately, and I just saw the webcam for Limey for the stream, so you were not joking. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, okay. I that's my webcam because I don't want to use my my like VTuber avatar right now. So it's the same thing. It's like a VTuber avatar. It's
the same thing.
Yeah. Before we get started, though, I do want to mention !SGDQ in the chat. This game and run got into Summer Games 2025, and I'm so excited. It's so cool. I've been working on All Secrets quite a lot, and I've been running Quake 64 Easy Run and even like Remaster Easy Run since the remaster came out in 2021. So it's super cool that I get to run that in GDQ. So I'm super excited to show it off here first because we're better and we get to do that first. Just like Pump and just like Bow and just like having Supersonic as the opener. So I don't know. Really, we should just be on committee, I think, actually. But like I said, this is the Quake remaster. There's a bunch of add-ons. The very first add-on they added was Quake 64, which is just a remake of Quake 64 in the Quake remaster engine. So there's a lot of like unique stuff in each of the levels. For the most part, it's going to be the same Quake experience. It's the first version that actually had colored lighting, fun fact. But instead of playing with the Nintendo 64 controller and like at 15 FPS, we get to play at like a jillion FPS and also with a mouse and keyboard. So the run is going to be very, very fast. And it's going to start when I click easy here to do the easy run. Oh, secrets. Yeah, you get the point. Osborne, would you like to do the countdown?
Of course. We'll start with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck and have fun.
Thank you. Oh no, I missed that first.
So as the category implies, it's all secrets. Limey just got the first secret right there. Any of these secrets, they can be pretty much hidden locations or hidden like walls that are hiding specific items. Some of these triggers are going to be really weird to see, and some of them will require you to enter pretty much the same room from like a different like teleporter. And so Limey's going to be getting all of the secrets, and then also includes all of the secret levels, in which the secret levels themselves also have secrets. In this very first level, there's a few secrets in here. And one of them involves going into this biosuit. Limey likes to go over here and grab this yellow armor, which I do as well. When I try to do this run myself, and as you can see here, Quake is in the Quake engine, which is a modified version of the Source engine.
Well, technically it's the other way, but yeah.
Yeah, technically, yeah. And so the primary movement tech that you're going to be seeing is, of course, bunny hopping, which is essentially just Limey primarily using the A and D keys to accelerate and gain momentum rather than just holding forward. And you're going to be seeing Limey jump a lot because jumping is much faster than going through just going through normally. And combining that with, of course, the strafe keys, well, you're just able to garner a lot of speed really quickly, and so that's going to be the primary movements tech you're going to be seeing throughout the run, as well as whenever you go upstairs. I mean, we'll be like spamming A and D because that'll be slightly faster than going up the stairs normally as well.
Yeah, I also want to mention logging is a thing in this game, so if you hold diagonally into a wall, you move a little bit faster. That's how I was able to get that silver key without activating the bridge. It's a pretty difficult jump because I have to jump on the very edge and make sure I have enough speed. It's a little weird, but I got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the Quake as a whole is split up into 4 episodes. This is the first episode, Quake 64. You can't really choose the episode order. You're going to do 1 through 4, but I know that typically in like when we're doing co-op or in like other versions of Quake, Limey does enjoy doing like episode 4 or 3, mainly because it has a few harder tricks that are annoying to back up if you get them if you fail them. But with Quake 64, we don't have that option. We have to start in episode 1. And in this particular episode, we get introduced to A, grenades and explosives, and also B, the nail gun, which is one of my personal favorite weapons in the entire game. Either the nail gun or the super nail gun. The amount of damage that they do is wild. And you're going to see here, Lime is going to do a nade launch off this gold key platform. Whenever you essentially jump off of an explosive, you get like shot up a little bit like that. You can do that with rockets, and you can do that with grenades, hence the rocket launches and the rocket jumps and the nade jumps, as they are called. Lime is going to get one secret here that requires you to kill both of these enemies up here. Using the grenades are going to kill them the fastest. However, the grenades, you also have to be careful because they do have a limited ammo. That is, I've never seen that before. Is that Quake 64 exclusive?
Yep, that is. Because usually the secret exit would be in the next level, but the next level is a little too big for the Nintendo 64, so they put it in here. It's one of the unique secret exits. There's 2 unique secret exits in this.
It's very nice. I love the different. I love seeing a bunch of differences across versions. In this particular secret, Limey is not going to be bunny hopping because we have 0 gravity, and so that kind of just becomes a thing that is impossible to do. But with 0 gravity, Limey is going to be using rocket jumps, but like reverse, where you can use the projectiles of the rockets to launch yourself off of walls and also off of ceilings to go down faster, or go across the stage faster, which is very, very useful in this particular section of the game. And in here, we get a few more secrets. There's only 2 secrets in this area. And the first one that you saw, that Limey used the invulnerability to get underneath the lava. The one at the other secret is here at the very end. And also, of course, Limey does need to be careful because with every nade launch and rocket launch that he does, or nade jump and rocket jump that he does, you do get a little bit of damage from the rocket jumps, and because of course you're hitting yourself with your own explosives. Thankfully, in multiplayer, if you hit your explosives to like one of your other players, as long as you don't have friendly fire on, then they won't get damaged, and so you can kind of like they won't take damage, so you can kind of take advantage of that. But in single player, you do get damage even from their own explosives, so you need to be careful when you're doing that. But also, you need to be careful because rockets and grenade launchers use the same ammo, and so that's something you need to be really careful about. So that's a really nice secret there. You go to behind the portal instead of going forward to the front of the portal. Limey's going to do a circle jump here. And unfortunately, a poorly timed save there. But we can just use a circle jump here to get this secret.
Really?
Something, of course.
It's a little precise.
Yeah, it is a little precise. This is a very difficult jump. A lot of the circle jumps in this game are pretty difficult to do.
What?
And Limey just kind of got tired there and decided to rocket launch. But
and then the guy just like on me anyways.
Yeah, but as you can see, rocket launching is a pretty important piece of tech here.
Yeah,
used very often in this run, especially in this level in particular. Gonna get one final secret here at the very end, but not go into the portal, obviously, because that'll bring us farther back into the level. And this is the second to last level of, well, the last fully fledged level of episode 1. The final level is just the boss, which has no secrets. It's just killing the boss. And so in this last level, we're going to see Limey get a few really, in my opinion, really well hidden secrets. I don't know how I would have been able to find this if I were to play this casually if I didn't already have Limey's help. But what you're going to be seeing here, we're going to try and get the gold key as fast as possible in this level in order to just get to the end. And there's a few secrets up here. There's ways to get all these secrets, of course, without rocket launching, or rocket jumping, I should say. But just rocket jumping in general is going to be a lot easier and a lot faster, even with the damage that you take. Do you take less, or does the damage that you take from grenades and rockets like differ among the versions, Limey?
It's mostly the same.
Mostly the same. Okay, that's good to know. So yeah, there's one behind. This is like the one. This is like an annoying one that you gotta wait for. A bit of an auto scroller-ish type of secret. And that is the last major level of episode 1. The last one is just the boss. What is this boss called? I forgot.
I don't even remember. He's just a guy who comes up from the lava, and this is like the only real boss. He's like the only real boss in Quake. All the other ones are just enemies, and then it becomes enemy spam, and then it's... Ooh, that was like perfectly timed. Okay. Yeah, it just becomes enemy spam, and then it's really difficult.
It's kind of like they forgot to like make bosses for the rest of the levels, and they just decided to do this one. So yeah, now you're going into episode 2. And I don't remember starting in this level, episode 2 in Quake Enhanced. Did they change the level orders?
No, E2M1 isn't in 64.
Oh, I didn't know that. This is what I love. I'm glad that I'm here because I'm learning all sorts of new things about 64. But yeah, Lammy's gonna cut through here for some progression because there's not that many secrets in this level, and so but the first thing that we need is the gold key. So Lammy's gonna like cut through a lot of the progression here, and then immediately go over here to get one more secret. This is the final secret. The secrets in this level are pretty easy to get continuously because they're all kind of like in one huge line. Like one secret leads to the next and leads to the next one.
I want to mention for that secret, I like hopped off of like the windowsill to like make sure I had enough speed to get around that guy, which was really hard.
Some of the more annoying enemies in this game, of course, are the knights right here. That Lammy is going to be. Lammy just passed one. The ogres are, in my opinion, pretty annoying ones when they specifically because they shoot rockets or they shoot grenades at you. Lammy would try to rocket jump up there again but if he tried, it would kill him. And so maybe not the maybe you do a little bit of
I just was doing any percent or like easy run, like regular any percent stress on accident, and then I stopped myself. There's one under the water here. Some of the more annoying enemies, as I said, the knights, the ogres, which shoot explosives at you, the yetis, which are very large white creatures that shoot electric attacks at you, which is called shamblers.
Have you seen one yet? I don't remember seeing one.
Yeah, it was in the ribbon, in the level right after the secret level.
There's one in this level. I don't think we're gonna see it based on Lammy's movements, but another one is the fiends. You're gonna be seeing like they act like dogs, and the fiends are like probably the ones that I've died to the most in this run, even compared to the yetis, even though the yetis do objectively more damage and are harder to kill. But we're going to go to another secret here, or a secret level here. The ending is just right here in North's beginning, but of course Lammy has to do a bunch of progression to actually open up the door to lead us to the end of the level. Getting this gold key, skipping a lot of progression just by getting the gold key via that rocket jump. We're going to get the quad damage here. The quad damage, as the name implies, it increases your damage like times 4. And Lammy's going to get 2 secrets in this level. One is, of course, in this room, and thankfully both of them give pretty major shielding and armor, and that's very nice. And so one thing that's very good about the quad damage is that as long as you're like quick throughout the level, it does kind of carry like a lot of the damage that you do throughout the level, especially with the larger enemies such as the knights and the fiends.
I had to go fast enough there to get that I cannot remember the name of what that is, and I can't call it what I usually call it. That dog.
The fiends? The fiend.
The fiend. I had to go fast enough so I could have the quad damage for that fiend, so he wouldn't be a problem, because he can easily be a problem.
Yes, we're going to call them fiends, and we're not going to call them what we usually call them. We can't do that here. This is a level that has a lot of twists and turns. It's supposed to be essentially a level that doubles it back in on itself 3 different times. Are you going to do the auto-scroller skip here? Yeah. Okay, good. The auto-scroller skip here does require that Lammy have a good amount of armor and also a good amount of health here. So... Well, maybe this fiend. I don't know. Yeah, I was about to say this fiend better let you do it.
I will say in 64 they changed. It used to be like a knight up here. I don't want to take that much damage. So I would like the armor for the next level. They changed that fiend out with with one of the knights, one of the big knights. Should be enough.
So here's the auto scroll skip. You're just gonna. Lammy's just going to jam themselves into that wall as the auto-scroller, like the box that goes down that starts the auto-scroller, and you can essentially just like squeeze your way out of the box as it goes down. You need to activate that button in order to open the gates that lead you to the end of the level.
Yeah, there's a gate like right here.
Exactly right there. But before we do that, we're going to get one last secret and also get the red armor. There's blue, yellow, and red armor in this game that you've seen Lammy picked up. The blue one gives you 100 defense, the yellow one gives you 150 defense, and the red one gives you 200 defense.
But also, I I don't have any nail ammo. Each tier of armor also lets you. It absorbs more and more as like the tiers go up.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is useful for
that,
nade jumps.
One very important thing that Limey did here at the end of this, or at the beginning of this level, was that you can see that this atrium. This is the last level of episode 2, by the way. Episode 2. This is the last level of episode 2, and you saw that there was a main like hub area that led to 3 different paths, including the path where Lemmy came from. And Limey essentially went down the final path.
I want to do this one
At first, because it starts like this elevator that's supposed to go down. It's supposed to be an auto scroll. You just wait for that to reach to the bottom, and you kill the enemies on the way down. But Limey activated it first, and then essentially let the elevator go down. After the elevator goes down a little bit, the gates that block you into that room will open back up, and then you can go over here and essentially finish the rest of the level, do some of the normal progression you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm doing like I'm doing the 3 parts of the level in reverse order, basically, which is something that most people aren't going to realize until like I point it out, because this is the very first part of the level that I'm doing. Like you'll see after I finish this section, it will say that like the bridge turned, and it will take me to the part of the level that I already did.
Yeah, and of course, an important thing to note is that that auto scroller is very good to activate first, because by the time the Limey is done with everything, the auto scroller will already be done, and all you have to do is ooh no.
I thought it was far enough away. Oh wait, this is wrong.
You should. Okay. I was about to say, should we wait for the quad damage to run out?
No.
But
I'm brave.
Yeah, you're brave. So yeah, of course, with the quad damage, the explosives that you use for the nade launches or the nade jumps and the rocket jumps, those will also affect you with 4 times as much damage. But is the wall? Why the wall is not usually that high?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's wild. So yeah, there's of course this last artifact here, this last rune, I should say, and that'll make it so that Limey unlocks this last wall. This wall is not this big in other versions of Quake, which I find to be really funny. Yeah, that's episode 3. Episode 3, in my opinion, in my opinion, is one of the harder levels. I don't know if I think episode 3 or 4 is the hardest. I think they're pretty tied in difficulty for me personally. But right here, Limey's going to do a little skip and do some of the progression out of order, specifically to get 2 secrets here. First, this one underneath this hidden area, underneath this platform, and then one under here. Thankfully, Limey also gets the yellow armor to get through this poison water pretty swiftly. And after that, we're going to grab some more health here, and we're just gonna. This portal leads us almost back to the beginning, pretty much back to the beginning of the level. That is an unfortunate thing about the secrets in this level, that there's not really a way to like get them in a way that doesn't require you to go back to the beginning of the level. There's also a secret right here, which is
to shoot the rocket to get it, but it doesn't really matter. It's like a second.
This one's going to give us quad damage, which is very useful for the rest of the level, especially because there's this final hallway that requires us to first of all get this gold key, and second of all, go through a lot of enemies. But before we do that, before we do that, Limey's going to get this last secret right here.
Yeah, usually I just hold forward there so I can run into the door and then just run back out, but it didn't open because I was a little bit off on my rocket launcher shot, so yeah,
and as you can see here, of course, Limey breezes through this final hallway with the quad damage. Limey's going to do a little skip here. Oh, unfortunate.
So it doesn't really matter because I have to do the progression normally. It's just, it saves a little bit of time. With
it does save a little bit of time.
The pathing that I could take at the end of this section.
It does save a little bit of time in all secrets. It saves tremendous amounts of time in any percent. And so any percent, essentially what you would do is you hold down Q, because Q is the menu that allows you to, bring up the wheel that allows you to change items quickly. That's not through like scroll or your number keys. But with that, everything kind of slows down in the world. And if you were to walk into the trigger that brings that platform down with the key, the platform would go down, but the key would not go down with it.
The key goes down a little slower. Yeah. So it will get trapped behind the grate because the grate still goes down fairly quickly. So it just gets trapped and it doesn't go down. It doesn't really matter too much. It's like if I wanted to really do it and be safe, I would just hold it for way longer, but I didn't want to lose the time from holding it because it doesn't actually save that much time with redirecting my B-hop to get it. So like it's just like I'll tap it, and then if I get it, I get it.
For sure. There's 2 secrets in this level that are the only reason that you would go down this normal progression. Otherwise, there's a much faster way to finish this level that you would do at any percent. There's 2 secrets right here. One you use to saw Limey get, and one underneath this water with a lot more health. And so Limey's going to go down the normal progression at this point because that's just going to be faster than doing what the any percent skip would be. Very nice movement there. Very
do the
nice.
any percent skip in this because the crates are too small.
Really? I didn't know that. That's wild.
Yeah, it's just too detailed in PC. That's bad, actually.
Yeah, that's very bad. That was unfortunate. But of course, Limey just needs to grab
carefully,
open the door with this bottom button over here. That'll lead us to the end of the level. Dang, these enemies are like being vicious to you right now. Yeah.
I'm fine.
You're getting absolutely slaughtered, but it's fine. Limey's a trooper.
There's actually a strat that's exclusive to 64 where you can line up a nade jump there, and then you get the nade jump height while you're in the middle of a rocket jump, and you can get out of the water. But it's actually slower because I need to do a secret in this main area.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward and it's a bit difficult, but it is pretty fun. I do like doing that.
Yes, it's a very nice trick. I've seen it before as well. But you need to get 1 secret here. This level has 4 normal secrets, and then of course a is this the other
this one is normal. There's a secret.
This one's
here.
normal. Okay, yeah. There's a secret exit here that Limey's gonna get pretty much almost towards the very end of the level once most of the normal progression has been done. Ooh, very nice save there with the quick saves. Gonna rocket launch a little bit to save some time here. You're gonna shoot these 4 windows to activate this secret right here.
Yeah, and if you notice, I had a quad damage from the first secret, and the second secret, I'm invulnerable. So we're gonna go on an adventure.
That's a very nice time save because the quad damage, of course, as you would expect, quad damage does 4 times as much damage to you, but with the rocket jumps, you get 4 times as much speed and like 4 times as much distance as you would get with a normal rocket jump, which is very nice. And there's going to be 1 last secret here, and you can speed up that last segment a little bit because you're going to get transported down the pipes automatically. But with that last secret, you can just shoot yourselves against the wall using the rockets in order to gain a little bit more speed. And with the invulnerability, like there's no consequences for shooting yourself or causing an explosion to speed yourself up. Thankfully, this secret, I'm sure it is fine in solo, but in multiplayer, it is actually very annoying sometimes, especially no matter if it's like 2 players with me and Limey or like 4 players when we do a whole squad run on Quake Enhanced. It is very like tight quarters. There's 4 secrets total here, and one of them with the quad damage that Limey is going to be making a lot of use of. Another one with an extra health pack right here with 100 that increases our health to 200. Those health packs will only temporarily increase your health to 200, of course. Once they get underneath 100 again, your health is capped at 100. Yeah, as you probably have noticed. But having a quad damage as much as you can and making use of it is insanely useful in most levels that you would use a quad damage in. We're gonna get 1 last secret here, and then Limey's just gonna finish the level.
Yeah, I'll also say, yeah, that level it's not as bad on solo, but it is just a lot going on, and it is way too small.
Yeah, it is incredibly tight quarters, and so it's a pretty annoying level to deal with sometimes. But Limey made it look pretty easy. This is the last level of episode 3. It is a very interesting level in my opinion, even as a casual progression. Specifically in the 100%, I think it's a really interesting level because of where all the enemies are located and how you progress towards them. But we're gonna get 1 secret over here that all you have to do to unlock the secret is shoot that symbol at the top of that elevator. And then you could just get the gold key and go down that path, but you can also go down over here and grab the rune on the end of here.
Yeah,
this level is structured a little bit differently than an enhanced version.
Raw quad damage boost there, and I have to make sure I don't go too high to like get hit too much. So it can definitely be a problem, but I got it.
Yeah, that last level is designed pretty a little differently than what I've seen in the Quake Enhanced version. This level as well, and I see that we have skipped E4M1. I assume that does not exist in 64.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fair, understandable. There's pretty much 3 secrets at once here. There's a secret that you get from like shooting the stained glass window there. That allows you to get the double shotgun, and there's 2 secrets. One that'll lead you to the invisible ring, and one that'll lead you to the armor, the blue armor that Limey got. And of course, there's one right here. All the secrets in this level kind of lead you to like really useful things, including increase in weapons, increase in armor, increase in health right there. And with the invincibility and the quad damage Limey has, he's pretty much making this level look like a breeze. And
I was a little bit faster than I thought it would be, so I was waiting on the quad damage to run out.
Yes. Ooh, dang. These levels all look so different than in the enhanced version. This is very nice. So yeah, Limey's going to focus mostly on normal progression here. In Quake in
actually, small thing. That happened in Disaster Relief. Actually, that exact thing where I ran into that fiend and everything was bad for a little bit. Actually, I needed to do that just to activate one part of the progression, but I am not going to actually do very much of the normal progression. Because this level actually has a secret exit down. It did not in the original version of Quake.
Oh, that's very nice.
So instead of activating anything, I click that button, which is really, really hard to find. And then the last secret I have is here. And then, and then that's where the secret exit is.
Oh, very nice, very nice. More often than not, when you're doing multiplayer runs, that level can be a little bit finicky, especially because with having a very high enemy count, and also one of the enemies spawns out of bounds. I don't know if that's a problem here in the 64 version, but that's an enemy that that is a bit of a difficult thing to deal with when it comes to multiplayer runs. But here in this level, in the secret level of episode 4, it is a very interesting secret level. There's only 4 secrets, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm just gonna do this again.
But a lot of the secrets require pretty heavy progression, including one secret right there with a rocket jump, and one secret down here on the edge of this wall.
But and then I have to do a quad boost up there. Perfect. That is really hard.
Yes, perfect quad boost. That is a very hard quad boost, and so that is a nice little skip that you can do to prevent yourself from doing most of the progression in this level after you get that particular secret. But then Limey has to continue with the progression here because he does have to get the silver key at the end in the middle of this gauntlet. There's this gauntlet that has a lot of fiends, and after you kill the fiends, there will be a Yeti that spawns. And
it's actually I don't remember what it is, but it's like the spider guy in this game.
Oh, it's really?
Yeah. It's just one thing I don't understand why they switched it. It doesn't really matter, but it switched.
I mean, it also makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So that's very nice. Yeah, and so especially with the lightning gun, in addition to the super nail gun, are my 2 favorites because they just do a ridiculous amount of damage, especially if you have quad damage on. And so that's the ones that I always opt for the most.
This is one of my favorite levels.
This level is really good. It's really good.
Okay, I can't talk about a great level, I guess. I've never seen him get trapped on that lip before.
It has a good amount of secrets. First of all, that one secret that you're getting invincibility on, of course, the healing pool. But of course, Limey hasn't really taken that much damage, so it's not going to heal him. There's one down here underneath that we get the red armor from, which is very nice. And then you usually would go through the progression and get a lot of progression through the maze section in this run, but Limey can actually just use a rocket launch to get up here and skip most of the progression of the maze. You still have to go back into the maze because there's one secret in the maze, but that's right here near the exit. You can just go out here, wait for those elevators to come back up, and boom, here is that secret area. And there's one last secret that Lemmy has to get that will actually lead him directly to the end of the level. And that includes going up this teleporter with a grenade, as such. And then boom.
Yeah, one thing
That's
that
the
we
end
haven't mentioned
of
that's
that
actually super important for this Quake 64 run is normally in Quake, the game takes away all of your weapons at the end of a episode, but it lets you keep your weapons in remaster for some reason, which leads to a lot of like funky strats where I have like weapons that I don't usually have, so I'm able to go way faster than usual.
You know what's wild? I actually didn't notice that this entire time. I don't know why. I don't know how I didn't notice that. That's really, really useful. But yeah, there's 4 secrets here. One of them is going to be right up here, but with the invulnerability that Lemmy got, it's going to be a lot easier to do. And so after that, you can just immediately end the level. And after this is going to be the last level of episode 4.
I almost got that flick. That would have been so cool.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's possible in the 64 version, but you can actually, it is possible to actually jump over the end level trigger in other versions of Quake, which is, I think it's really, really funny to do in this run. But yeah, were you going to say something, Lemmy?
I don't even remember. It's fine.
All right. But yeah, this is the last level of episode 4, and then of course there's the final boss. So this run is almost done. This particular level has the most secrets, capping out at 9 secrets total, which is a wild amount. First of all, and most of the secrets are guarded by fiends, which are very plentiful in this level. It's so weird seeing all the different design choices between 64 and the enhanced version, I will say. Lemmy just, oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, I like need to go back through here later, so I just have to get these guys.
That is
I
wild.
can get away with not doing it, but this is an event, so I'm going to play it a little safe. You know the vibes.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, Lemmy, of course, having the classic invincibility plus quad damage combo. One thing that you can't do in this game, even with, I don't know if it counts with invincibility, but you cannot use the electric gun underwater, else you will die.
You can do it if you're invincible, but yeah, normally
otherwise it's an insta kill. Yeah. But yeah, Lemmy already got all 9 secrets. There's around 4 of them in the maze that are really, really close to each other that you saw Lemmy get in those 2 little divots in the wall that have, oh my god. I usually don't think you would fall up over here. Yeah. But yeah, after getting those secrets, Lemmy just goes down the normal progression of this last level. And boom. Well, of course, you have to get the ruin and of course kill the last enemy here. Perfect. So yeah, that is the 4 episodes. Now we're going to go straight into the final boss. Now we're not going to really fight the boss itself per se. There's this, first of all, this intro area that is just killing these 2 fish and going down this pathway. Those fish really do not want you to get to the boss, I will say.
Yeah, the fish are more prone to following you in this version.
Yeah. And so typically you would have to go through a bunch of enemies waves if you want to do 100%, but with it,
I was coming up.
There's just 1 secret here, and boom, Lemmy just got the secret, and we're waiting for this. What is this called? This spiky thing that goes into the boss.
I don't know, but time.
I don't know. What time? That's time.
Oh, that was a PB.
Let's go.
That was pretty good. Yeah. I was kind of playing out of my mind. I didn't have to do that many resets. So
yeah,
that's actually pretty cool.
That's very GG.
Yeah, on mine,
yeah,
with the auto splitter, that was a 3049, and my PB before was a 3211. So that was quite.
Ooh,
well.
That's a big PB.
Yeah, I've been working on a lot of the routing for like a lot of the individual levels and doing more things with the weapons that I have. So I've been putting a lot of time into this like particular category, and I'm super happy that like I was able to get a PB on the AAPI Heritage Month showcase. Holy moly!
Wonderful, amazing work. But yeah, that was a very nice run. That last boss, it's pretty much all there is to it. And that I think Lemmy just did an absolutely amazing job with a lot of the strats that you saw. That's probably one of the best showcases of this run that we could have asked for.
Yeah, actually, genuinely. So, yeah, Osborne, would you like to do any shoutouts?
Yeah, if you want to follow me, I don't really stream any of my speedruns, but I do stream some of my archipelago random marches that I do with friends, including Limey. And so you're going to be seeing that on my Twitch. And yeah, that's pretty much all that I want to shout out. Limey.
Yeah. Before I get into any shoutouts that are like real, shoutouts to the Wendy chat, because we submitted for the last 2 GDQs a Quake 4-player like easy 100% run, and it didn't get in this time, unfortunately. I mean, I got in like solo, so I mean, I'm super grateful for that, and I'm sure everyone in Wendy is like super like ecstatic that this got in, especially like with a showcase like that, like holy moly. But
for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I just want to like shout out to like all their dedication to like learning this game, because I asked them politely and I taught them all like the different routes for this game, so everyone can like run 100% like together. That was super fun.
Definitely.
But you can find me at twitch.tv/LimeySR or LimeySR on most things. I am super happy with how the AAPI Heritage Month event is going. I'm sure Etchy is too. I don't want to take the words out of your mouth, but I'm positive that he's not going to shout himself out.
It's the worst. I don't know. I mean, no, it's been amazing so far.
Yeah, I'm positive you're not going to shout yourself out. So, you know, follow him, twitch.tv/Etchy SR_SR. I don't remember. Anyways, please follow him.
You're the _SR.
He's been great.
Amazing. And also,
Etchy, follow him at Etchy.
Yes, and while you're watching AAPI, please remember to support people of color in speedrunning and people and creators of color in speedrunning. Please.
Yeah, 100%. And then also, if you're enjoying this, check out the LATAM event, which will happen probably in October, maybe. Check out Back to Black. Check out the Fatales event. Check out Juneteenth coming up here in... Oh my God. It's a month from now.
In June.
Oh my God.
It would be the next month. It is in June.
Okay, wow. Yeah. Time's like catching up to me. Hold on. I got to take a minute.
Yeah, the inhonorable passage of time catches up to us all, I fear.
But yeah, I'm super excited with how this is going. But yeah, we're going to be playing a replay after this, and you're going to hear a bit more of me. So it doesn't really matter. And then I assume if you're watching the VOD, you can watch more of my VODs on youtube.com/games on Quick. I have done a few GDQ runs in my day. Who knows? But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you so much for having me, Dechi.
Thank you for doing this run. Like Lamey said, if you stick around, we're going to start with a rerun of basically from the start of the day. So if you missed any of the early runs, stick around and you'll catch them. And then, of course, we'll be back tomorrow, same time. So we'll be back at 1 p.m. Eastern, going all the way until 9 p.m. again. Whole nother day of new speedruns by a bunch of amazing Asian and Pacific Islander speedrunners. So definitely tune in and support tomorrow. We'll see you there, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.